Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin. Long day, man. Long day. Called in sick for work. Got a bit of time to spend with you guys. Got a bit of time to really assess what happened. I've seen a lot of opinions. I've seen a lot of anger, frustration, people being upset. I'm in that boat as well, of course. I'm in that boat. Angry, upset, sad, frustrated. The worst thing is that this Man United team is not good enough. That's the real thing. This Man United team, there's a reason why they're 14th or 13th or whatever the case is. Thanks for doing another stream, Miz. Appreciate that. No, appreciate that. Big up to each and every one of you guys. I think the real frustration, the real anger comes about because of how pathetic Man United is. And that's being polite. That's actually being polite. Everyone's gone and done the business on Man United. Most teams have done the business on Man United. And even at the Europa League, stage, teams have done the business on Man United. And we thought, and we as a fan base, we had every right to believe the way we believe. We had every right. I see some people are like, oh, we were too confident. We had every right to be confident, though. This isn't like next weekend when we play Arsenal. I think some of the confidence will be a bit low. We had every right to be confident against Man United. I know some people will say, oh, we've never won at Old Trafford. Where's this confidence coming from? The confidence is coming from at how pathetic Man United have been. Even in this game, it's not like Man United blew us apart. No, they didn't. Man United's entire game plan was, let's hope that they make an error and then we're going to pounce on it as quickly as possible. It's not like Man United forced the play with the ball. They allowed us to have the ball. They conceded the fact that we're not good as you on the ball. You keep the ball better, and that's fine. That's fine. We'll hurt you when you make the mistake. Now, that's not bigging up Chelsea, and that's not at the same time demeaning Man United. That was their game plan. They were smarter in the sense that they followed the Liverpool footprint. They followed Liverpool's blueprint. I fully expected Man United to come out and be gun-ho, press really aggressively, try and win the ball up front and then leave gaps in behind where we can beat their press and then find space in behind with Neto, Madueke, Jackson. But they were smart. They didn't just go stupid. They didn't go stupid. I see a lot of people being upset that, Maresca overthought things and, we were too slow, too much, not enough intensity in our game. There's a reason why we were slow to build up. There's a reason for that. We were trying our best to bake them in. It's difficult when the entire team of 10 players, excluding the goalkeeper, is on their half. It's difficult. It's difficult to continuously zip the ball around. There's traffic, there's crowd. If you can't see, there's too many bodies. In order to play fast, You need the opposition to tango with you as well. Do you understand what I'm saying? In order to play quick, you need the opposition to tango with you too. You need the opposition to dance with you. If the opposition want to stay in a mid-block tight, just stay compact, they don't want to press too much, it's very difficult to play fast. Now, the problem is, how do we play when teams are like that? How do we play when teams are not looking to press aggressively? How do we play? Well, that's when, the technical ability comes into play. That's when individual technical ability comes into play. And then on top of that, there were a lot of players that dropped stinkers. That's the other issue. Me personally, I don't think Maresca got it wrong. A lot of people are saying Maresca got it wrong. A lot of people are upset about, why is Reese James this experiment on the left side? Why is this happening? Okay, well, what's your solution? Play Reese on the right as a right back that inverts the way Gusto did? And Gusto didn't even fully invert. It's not like he became a central midfielder. Malo Gusto was literally playing in the half space in between Jackson and Madueke. And then he was overlapping. Have a look at Malo Gusto's heat map. Have a look at Malo Gusto's heat map. He wasn't a central midfielder. He wasn't an out-and-out midfielder. Then you can say, okay, scrap that. Scrap Malo Gusto, scrap that. Put Reese James on RCB. Every decision has a consequence. This is what we need to understand. Every decision has a consequence. No problems. You want to play Reese James as an RCB on the right side, let's say, right? And you want to bring in Cucurella, which I have no issues about. I've actually got zero issues about. I like Cucurella a lot. And I actually don't mind Reese James playing as RCB. I think that's where he plays his best. Then who's going to... Because we play with a back three. Who's going to be your center CB and who's going to be your LCB? Because, let's be honest, the center CB position with Wesley Fofana is dodgy. Is very dodgy. Wesley Fofana on the ball is not cutthroat enough. This is why Levi Colwell is better in the middle. Now you can also say, well, drop Reese James. Let's not even play Reese James. You can say that. Fair enough. But if you don't play Reese James, then you're going to have to play someone on the left side. If you don't play Reese James, no problems. Wesley Fofana continues as a RCB. Colwell continues as a CCB, and then you need someone who can play LCB. You're going to have to bring in like a Buddy Shield. Because essentially you need Colwell to play through the middle. He's our best ball-playing defender. And then you can continue on with Cucurella on that left side, underlapping, inverting. He's our best inverter, yeah? Now you can also sit there and go, look, scrap all of this inverted stuff. Just go back to the traditional back four, fullbacks overlapping. Well, that's just not how Maresca operates. That's just not how Maresca operates. We have to understand the way Maresca wants to play. What's the point of bringing this manager in then? What's the point of bringing a manager if they can't implement the way they want to play? Chelsea Football Club they've brought in Maresca to play a certain level of certain style of football. I'm seeing people getting upset with Maresca. I'm seeing people are like, oh, he can't beat City, he can't beat Liverpool, he can't beat Man United. Let's get rid of him. Get rid of him and get who? Get rid of him and get who? This is why I've been saying, people, you need to be very patient. You have to be very patient. This is why I've repeatedly said, one thing that made it very clear to me against Man United today is that Man United's poor, Man United's rubbish, but it's not like we're miles away from them. Like we're better than them. We're superior to them. Of course we are. But we're not miles ahead. This top four that people are asking and demanding, you have to be really, you've got to be, you've got to understand like what this league is all about. Adi, why do you think Maresca is unwilling to sub Palmer? Palmer's our most important player. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I know he didn't play well. I know Cole Palmer didn't play well today. But I'm sorry, you can't take Palmer off. Palmer's that type of a player. Any moment he can do something unbelievable. Cole Palmer is the X factor in the team. The problem is there's no one else in the level of Cole Palmer. He's our best player. The problem is no one else is in that level. I wish Nkunku and Felix was in that level, but the problem is, the real truth is, they're not. Adi, yeah, but we have Felix, miss. We got to try new things sometimes. Look at what Felix did against Newcastle midweek. It's not that I don't want Felix to play. I would love him to play. Well, why isn't the manager doing it? Why? Surely there's no level of confidence. This is a perfect comment. We are going to sub Palmer for Nkunku and Zhao to just jog around the pitch so they can try stupid flicks and nutmegs. This comment is true. Now, we can sit here and blame, why did we get Felix? Felix was never meant to be a player for us. He was never. It just happened. Felix was never meant to play for, he was never meant to sign for Chelsea, man. We were going for Omar Dion. Striker. It didn't work out, then we had to get Felix. But it's true, Haj is right. Felix and Nkunku, they're spectators when they come on. I'm sorry, they don't work hard enough. Even though Cole Palmer wasn't that good, Cole Palmer still works hard enough. Cole Palmer made some really big interceptions today, man. As I said, the problem is when Cole Palmer doesn't show up, then we don't have anyone else to show up. Pedro Neto may be the closest one. This Gusto 810 rubbish over Cuckoo is on the coach. Look, Super Monty, I agree with you. I don't like it either. I don't like it. But I think you need to understand why he's doing it. This is our problem as a fan base. We don't spend enough time to understand why the manager does this. We are too quick to just jump on. Let's just bash the manager. He's doing this because if Gusto, okay, so let's say he doesn't play Gusto, right? And he plays Reese James on the right side as RCB. You need to understand the manager doesn't like. I feel the manager doesn't like Wesley Fofana to be the middle defender. And even if Kukurea inverts, we've seen Kukurea also in those half spaces at times. Kukurea as a strike, the similar things happens to Kukurea as well. Kukurea is very good in inverting, yes, but then Kukurea also finds himself into those half spaces. That's just the role of an inverted, because Caicedo and Romeo Lavia, they don't really bomb forward. Do you understand? Super Monty. Caicedo and Romeo Lavia don't really bomb forward. They are actual double pivot players. This is why when we have Enzo Fernandez play, that's when you see Kukurea come in and really become a double pivot player. Do you know what I mean? You can't have inverted fullbacks when you've got Romeo Lavia and Caicedo, because you have two that stay close together. This is why Malo Gusto is not a central midfielder. He's playing up front. That same thing's going to happen with Kukurea when he goes. When we substituted Enzo Fernandez in, that's when you started to see Kukurea invert. This is why Enzo plays forward. Play James as CB and invert Kuku from left back. He's done that previously. But it's difficult when you have two-man midfield. When you already have Caicedo, then what you're probably asking for is Enzo Fernandez to play. If that's what you want, you're asking for Enzo Fernandez to play. You can't have Kuku, Caicedo, and Romeo Lavia in the middle. You can't. Kuku is literally going to end up being a number 10. The same thing's going to happen. Yes, you can. Why can't there be three in midfield? That's not how Maresca plays. You want a different manager, brother. You want a different manager. That's what you want. That's what you want. You want a different manager. You want a manager to do things he doesn't want to do. This is what we have to understand as a fan base, man. You want him to do this. You want him to do that. Then you don't actually want him to do what he wants to do. No, it's not. I disagree. All your comments, I disagree with you, bro. I'm going to stop taking your comments now. I think I've given you enough chance to say what you have to say. I'm going to pick up other people's comments. All your comments are, we're far too open in midfield. BS. BS. You're telling me you watched that game and you've been watching all the other games. We are far too open. With Romeo Lavia and Caicedo, if anything, we're not that open. The only time we get open is when there is a missed time pass. The only time we start getting open. Tell me instances where the opposition has absolutely... Only time is when we play with Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo, or when we lose the ball in midfield. Any other time, we're not open in midfield, man. Look at the Newcastle game. We were watertight in midfield. Only time we get opened up is when there is a unforced error, sorry. I'm not going to sit here and just... The normal cliche comments, oh, we're too open in midfield. We're not open in midfield. I'm sorry, we're not. There are some distinct issues, yes. That Malo Gusto position, the position isn't the issue. The position isn't the issue. The position is actually being carried out from a tactical point of view. Malo Gusto is actually from a tactical point of view. Think about what I'm saying. Think about what I'm saying. Malo Gusto in that position, tactically, he's actually carrying that out. Because tactically, he's not stupid. But the problem with Malo Gusto in that position is his execution. Take Malo Gusto out and put Trent Alexander-Arnold there. Take Malo Gusto out from that position and put Trent Alexander-Arnold there. What do you get? What do you get? Fullbacks shouldn't be 10 mils. That, brother, welcome to the modern era. Welcome to the modern era. This is how Enzo Maresca plays his football. He's even educated us in press conference saying, Malo Gusto plays 8-10. You may not like it. That means you are manager out. That's what you're saying, Full Monty. You're manager out. Fullback shouldn't be 10s, Miz. You are manager out. You might as well say, manager out. You might as well be Enzo Maresca out. That's what you're saying. That's more or less that's what you're saying. Kings. Miz, the coach did everything well. The issue is maturity. But this team will develop with time. I don't even think it's the maturity, to be honest. It's got nothing to do with maturity. Today had nothing to do with maturity. Today, here's what I realized. There are certain players that are dropping stinkers. That's the problem. Malo Gusto last season was capable of putting in those crosses. What's happening to him this season? Malo Gusto, please, everyone, watch the game again. Malo Gusto is getting into really good positions and he can't make simple passes to Madueke. Why? There was one beautiful opportunity for Malo Gusto to slip in Madueke and his pass was awful. Is that because of where he's playing in the field, because he's inverting or whatever? Or is it because this guy's just all of a sudden can't pass? Malo Gusto, Madueke puts in a ball, through. Malo Gusto is overlapping, and Malo Gusto, he puts in a cross, and the cross gets intercepted by the very first guy. Now, is that the position's fault, or is that Malo Gusto's fault? Malo Gusto actually, from a tactical point, this is the crazy thing. From a tactical point, Malo Gusto is actually understanding the tactics. He's actually understanding the tactics, because if he didn't understand the tactics, he wouldn't be in those positions. So he's actually following the manager's instructions and he's understanding the tactics. The problem with Malo Gusto is the fundamentals of his game has disappeared. All the things he was doing last season, when he was crossing, when he was passing brilliantly, everything has deserted him all of a sudden. He's in bad form, of course. Now we can drop him. We can drop him and revert back to Cucurella. But then I believe then Reese James cannot play. I believe Reese James cannot play. I believe in that case you'll have to put Wesley Fofana there. You'll have to put Wesley Fofana there. Wesley Fofana, and he plays RCB, Levi Colwell in the middle, and you're going to have Buddy Shield as LCB. Super Monty, once again, you keep saying it's complicated role. The complicated role has nothing to do with his incapacity to properly pass and cross. He's actually carrying out that complication properly. It's just he can't seem to pass or cross. He's not screwing up because he doesn't know what to do. He knows what to do. His execution is poor. Haj, earlier in the season, Enzo joined front five and the fullback who doesn't play as part of the back three joined Caicedo to become a pivot. Now we use Caicedo and Lavi as a pivot. So one fullback needs to join the front. There you go. Haj understands. Haj gets it. We as a fan base have to understand what this manager is trying to do. We have to understand. If you don't understand what the manager's trying to do, believe me, you'll be angry and you'll be upset. You'll be upset because you don't get what he's doing. Once you understand what he's doing, then you can start pinpointing that, okay, this player maybe shouldn't be doing this, or we need a different profile. We have to understand. The way I see it, if we want Cucurella to invert, then Reese James can't play. We have to drop Reese James. Obviously, Malo Gusto can't play, but we have to drop Reese James as well. Unless we really think Reese James can play, Levi Colwell will be in the middle, and we drop Wesley Fofana. I'm happy to drop Wesley Fofana. I really am. I'm happy to drop Wesley Fofana. Because for me, Wesley Fofana has been poor as well. For me, Wesley Fofana has been poor as well. You want Cucurella to invert? But the other thing is, if we play with a midfield of Caicedo and Lavia, Cucurella is not really going to invert. Cucurella is going to start playing the way Malo Gusto is playing. This is why Enzo Maresca is saying Malo Gusto is better in the 8 and the 10. Cucurella is better in the 6 area. We have to understand. If Cucurella inverts, he's not really going to invert because Lavia and Caicedo will be in the middle. Now I understand why he's doing what he's doing. I really do. I get it. And if we want Cucurella to fully invert, then we need to play with Enzo Fernandez. We need to play with Enzo Fernandez, or maybe someone else. Like, I don't know, Chukwuemeka, for example. You have Caicedo, you have Chukwuemeka, you got Cucurella inverting, so Caicedo and Cucurella becoming double pivot, and then Chukwuemeka can be on the left side. You have to understand. Maresca plays with a double pivot. Now, whether that is someone inverting, whether someone's there from the get-go, like Lavia and Caicedo, but someone is there, double pivot. Maresca is not playing with a single pivot. Maresca does not play with a single pivot. Means why not push Caicedo to 8? Bring Enzo as a holding 6. Let James invert to support Cucu. Okay. I did think about why not have Caicedo. I did ponder this. Why not have Caicedo do what Malo Gusto did? That's basically what you're saying, Kings. You're saying, why not have Caicedo perform the duties of what Malo Gusto is doing? So basically what you're saying is, Caicedo off the ball will become a right back. Yeah? Caicedo off the ball will become a right back. Because there's two facets here. Someone's got to defend somewhere. Enzo as the holding 6 and let James invert. Right? You're asking for James to invert to support or Cucu, either or. Someone's got to then protect that right side. Yeah, we could potentially do that. But for some reason, Enzo Maresca prefers Caicedo deeper to break down the play. Super Monty saying he plays for Colombia box to box. He plays there for Colombia. You mean Ecuador? Box to box. Yeah, just because he plays that way for Ecuador, you have to see who Ecuador has. You cannot be utilizing what Ecuador does because Ecuador's team, the combinations that they have, the personnel they have is not the same as Chelsea. Oh, he does that for Ecuador, so let's do that for Chelsea. It's like saying Enzo Maresca did what he did at Leicester. Let's now put everyone here and do the same thing here. No, you got to look at the composition of the team. The composition of the team is Caicedo is best suited in the middle. Doesn't work that way. He does this over there, then do that here. We've got different personnel here. Ecuador has different personnel. We have different personnel. Yeah, this I can agree. So Lavia and Cuckoo pivot with Caicedo ball winning, box to box, but he can't just be ball winning. We don't have a 3-man midfield. We don't have a 3-man midfield. We have a 2-man midfield and a fullback that adds. We don't play with like 3. So if you want to play with a Cuckoo Caicedo, Cuckoo Lavia pivot, unless you are asking also Caicedo to be up top and then quickly recover back and be a pivot with Lavia. It's not gonna work, man. Caicedo ain't some sort of a superhero. Go box to box. Go to that box, and then when there is a transition, come and support Lavia immediately. Sorry. And then if you say, oh, well, okay, no problems. Caicedo, you don't have to come back immediately. Cucurella will invert. Well, then who's looking after the left back position? We like to just throw out information. We just like to throw out suggestions, information, but we don't want to think about it. We don't want to think about it. And then when that doesn't come off, everyone be like, oh, look how open the midfield is. Look how open the midfield is. Because I'm sorry, but throwing away the cup game versus Newcastle. See, this is the thing. What makes you think we threw away the cup game? Resting everyone, then serving up that performance is on the manager. It's his job to make the players up for it. The real Kevin K. Have a look at that team that started against Newcastle. Nkunku, Felix, Enzo Fernandez, Mudryk. These are the players we wanted them to show us something. When did that become when I thought this is why we got all of these players to have some level of depth, no? Yes, I can agree with you that okay, why didn't Cole Palmer at least feature? I can agree with you that. Why didn't Cole Palmer feature? Is Cole Palmer incapable? Is Cole Palmer incapable? Devin saying the players did throw away that game. To be honest, I'm not sure whether they did. They just got out. They got outdone. I don't think they threw it away. They've been shown how pathetic they are. I don't think they threw it away. Newcastle showed how pathetic the B team is. And that's the sad reality. That's the sad reality. That some of you guys are like, oh, why didn't Palmer get substituted today to bring in Nkunku and Felix? But then you're upset that Nkunku and Felix started against Newcastle. Remember, time like this last season, we were 14th. I'm okay with the improvement, especially from a guy nobody gave a chance. Look, honestly speaking, I think one thing I've the one thing that I was very clear about at the end of this match is I realized we've actually got a very good manager. We actually have a very good manager, a manager that is tactically very smart, apt. We actually have a very good tactical manager. We do. People will realize very soon. And most people do realize that. We what are we, fourth? What are we for? Are we fourth in the table? Pretty sure we're fourth in the table. We're fourth. We're fourth on the table. This manager, as I said, one thing I've realized, this manager is a very, very good manager. He really is. He's a very, very good manager. He does his homework. Tactically, he actually sets us up nicely. What this manager is now, I think he's able to show us is there are certain players that are not good enough to execute his football. Okay? They're not good enough to execute his football. And that is something, hopefully, every transfer window, we can one piece at a time keep working on it and get that better. I just thought we would be good enough to beat Man United. We should have been. We should have been. Because next time we play Man United, it may not be the same thing, man. It may be a little bit different under Amorim. He may get them to be a little bit more resolute. But we had chances today. Enzo Fernandez at 1-1. At 1-1, Enzo Fernandez had a really good opportunity to give us the winner. Cole Palmer, unfortunately, didn't have a good game. And the problem is, whenever Cole Palmer doesn't have a good game, no one else is stepping up. No one else is stepping up. Caicedo to maybe do the role Maresca was asking Enzo to do earlier in the season, double pivot without the ball, but then half space with the ball, and then invert a fullback next Lavia. Yeah, look, there's see the amount of instructions that there is in there. Maybe Caicedo's not able to carry all of those out. And this is why I keep saying the problem with Malo Gusto is he's actually from a tactical point of view, he's actually carrying it out correctly. But his execution's poor. Faisal, the cup game should have been a mix of B team and A team. Why can't Caicedo, Palmer, Jackson play twice a week? Yeah. This, you have a good, valid argument. Why can't Palmer, Caicedo, Jackson play twice a week? Why can't they? That's true. But I think this is where that whole notion of squad harmony comes into play as well. This is the problem when you have a big squad. What's going to happen when you don't allow players like Felix and Nkunku to even play in the cup games? What's going to happen then? Already, I'm certain, as the season continues, there'll be murmurs. There'll be issues. The longer Nkunku and Felix, they don't get to play in the Premier League, the longer they don't even get to be used as a substitute, they will not appreciate this. They will not appreciate this. I still believe that team we put out, so-called B team against Newcastle, should have done a lot better. Should have done a lot better. Because you're protecting Enzo too much. No, I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm not protecting him too much. I'm not. I think some of you guys, most of you guys are all right, actually. Some of you guys are actually doing too much. Trying to blame Maresca too much. I don't think I'm doing too much at all. The problem is I understand what he's doing. You're not understanding, and that's your problem, Jeremy. That's not my problem. I understand what he's doing. And if you actually understood what he's doing, then you wouldn't be upset at what his structure is. You'd just be upset with some of the individuals that are not performing. Sure, he picked the right line up, but motivating and riling up the players to play with urgency is completely on him. I'm sorry, this whole urgency, I thought I've addressed this once. What urgency can you do when the opposition, you understand, the urgency has to be, the opposition's got to tango with you. Then only you can move. How can you move the ball when the opposition is quite happy to stay compact and stay mid to low block? They're happy to do. They're not really. Did Man United press us aggressively? Did Man United press us aggressively? Man United had majority, in fact, all of their players in their half. 10 players without the goalkeeper in their half. What are you talking about urgency? What do you want them to do? If anything, I saw times where we moved the ball brilliantly. One touch pass through the middle, we were through. Have a look at the game. You expect every play to be like that. Is that what you're expecting? Every single play to be like that. Levi Colwill recently has stated, we don't play gun-ho basketball type anymore. And we don't want to build up too quick all the time either. We pick the moments. Players and managers are talking to you guys. We try and bait the opposition in. Come. The reason why we are slow is we want them to come out of their shell. We want them to disrupt their lines. People talk about urgency. Like, just zip the ball around. Some of these players can't zip the ball around, and some of these players can't trap the ball nicely. You want to zip the ball around. Yeah, zip it to Madueke, and let Madueke control it first touch. And when he coughs up the ball and the opposition takes the ball off him, yeah, then be angry. Then be angry at the manager. Look what he's doing. Or be angry at the player. You want our defenders to zip the ball through the middle, through the outside. This is exactly what Man United was looking for. They wanted us to do that so they can steal the ball and then launch a counter-attack. Look at the amount of times we zipped the ball to Madueke and he was incapable of holding onto the ball. Look at the amount of times we zipped the ball to Nicholas Jackson and he was incapable of holding onto the ball. I don't know what you guys, but urgency. What do you want them to do? What do you want the players to do? You can blame the players for their execution 100%. But this urgency is a total BS. It's got nothing to do with urgency. We didn't lose the game because of urgency. Our concern now is how do we manage to break down teams effectively when they follow the Liverpool blueprint. Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, and Man United. It's easy when the opposition, like Newcastle last weekend, they want to press. It's easy. This is another one. But Miz, don't you think we made the counter too easy? The line was so high up and nearly every player is pushed up. Okay, all right. Let's not have the high line. Where would you have the line? Mid block? Let's say you go mid block. How far do you want the midfielders to be then? Closer to the defenders or very far? Do you want the gap to be heaps? Okay, let's say we have a mid block, defenders not so high up, mid. We have the midfielders close to the defenders as well. Where are our attackers? Up front? This is what I mean. People say one thing, but they don't want to think about the consequence. The reason why we play high up is we want to box the opposition. We want to lessen the space between defense, midfield, attack. We want to be able to win the ball back quickly. When we do lose it, we want to be able to win the back. Now, okay, you don't want that type of football. You say, you know what? No deal. No deal. I don't want that type of football. I want my defenders to sit back. No problems. Defenders sit back. Defenders sit back. Everyone else stay forward. Then there's nothing in the middle. There's a reason why we have the high line. It's not because Maresca's dumb. Maresca even post-match said, we knew we were going to concede chances. We knew that. But we worked on making sure that we can see those chances away. And predominantly we did. Our problem isn't Maresca. I'm sorry. Our problem isn't Maresca. Until I actually start seeing, okay, well, this guy's got no idea what's going on. Our problem isn't Maresca. Victor, for me, this is strike one for Maresca. Let's not forget the points dropped versus weak sides like Palace and Forest at home. We only even drew this game due to Caicedo's individual brilliance. I'm not even kidding. We have finally struck a good manager. I'm telling you right now. We have finally struck a manager who is very good in controlling these players, who is very good in tactically having us set up nicely. That Forest game, we had chances, man. I still remember that Mudryk cross and Kunku straight to the goalkeeper. The man saves that goalkeeper. We even said after that Forest game, both the goalkeepers were man of the match. Did we or did we not say that? We're going to sit here and blame. We're going to sit here and blame Maresca for Forest. You're going to sit here and blame Maresca. Strike one. Man's giving strike one. Man's giving strike one. The problems are there are some incapable players like Madueke. Madueke, for instance. Madueke was utter rubbish today, man. Madueke was utter rubbish. He's got one job to do, which is 1v1, take your man on. He didn't take his man on often enough. And the other job is when you're in the final third, put in a good cross. Put in a good cross. Put in a good cutback. And he didn't do that. You look at Pedro Neto on the other hand. Cutthroat all the time. Malo Gusto. His ball playing was rubbish. Wesley Fofana on that right side, even in the first half, was a little bit dodgy, and then second half he really should be defending that cross. That cross should not be going over Wesley Fofana's head. I'm sorry. That cross should not be going over Wesley Fofana's head. Nicholas Jackson needs to work today. For some reason, he didn't get involved enough. Look at the way Nicholas Jackson got involved against Newcastle. Today, he didn't get involved. Fuzzbrain, big up to you, my man. Thank you so much for the super chat. The people blaming Enzo are insane, in my opinion. 100% insane. 100% insane. Ms. Maresca gambles a lot. Gambles a lot. Wow. Which place did he gamble? Where is he gambling? People are just throwing words. He gambles a lot. What did he gamble today? Too much tactics in his head is causing us points. Wants to try new tactics every week. Madueke needs to be dropped. He has become too comfortable. That I agree with. He has become too comfortable. People are too funny, man. People are too funny. Give Man U credit for how they blocked passing eggs. See, there you go. People don't want to talk about this. I'm thankful that there are some intelligence in the fan base. Give Man U credit for how they blocked passing lanes and pocketed Jackson and Palmer. Yeah, even then, Palmer still saw the ball. It's not like Cole Palmer didn't see the ball. Cole Palmer saw the ball. Problem with Cole Palmer today was he made some poor decisions. Every other time, you'd think Cole Palmer generally would make the right decision. He's made some poor decisions. That's the problem. We have seen Cole Palmer other matches made some top decisions. Today, when he's meant to pass, he's shooting and he's making a low percentage shot. When he's shooting, he's probably meant when he's passing, he's probably meant to shoot. It was uncharacteristic of him. Well, it's going to happen. He's a young player. It's going to happen. Miz, you're getting brainwashed with the Maresca BS, man. Maresca BS, I'm getting brainwashed. Can't you see the constant self-sabotage from the back? So that's on Maresca. Maresca told him to self-sabotage. Maresca's telling Wesley Fofana to miss that ball. Which part, Hustler, which part of Reese James being in the left side has created a defensive deficiency? Which part? In the middle of the park. In the middle of the park. Self-sabotage from the back. In the middle of the park. What was wrong with the middle of the park? Caicedo and Romeo Lavia in the first half were very good. Romeo Lavia in the second half wasn't good. And then he got taken off. That's probably got to do with his fitness. Hustler, just come out and openly say you don't understand football. Just say you don't get football. You just watch. Just watch, brother. Just watch. Probably talk less. Watch. Maresca BS. Yeah, this guy just became Chelsea manager coincidentally. Everything Maresca is saying in media, he's actually carrying that out. Like you know how some managers they say one thing in press conference, then they do something else in the match, and you go, "What the f? What are you doing?" He's not like that. Maresca is literally educating us. Maresca is literally educating us in press conferences. And I was wondering why did Reese James? Why does Reese James play? Why did Reese James play as an LCB? And then he said, because Malo Gusto, when he comes off from his right-sided position, he becomes like an 8 and a 10. Only he can at the moment do that from our team. And in order for them to play his type of football, someone needs to do that. That's why Reese James plays as a LCB, because Reese James starts once a week. He starts, and he wants the captain to start in the Premier League. Now you can say, all right, well, don't start Reese James, no problems. But he's even called out Reese James. Enzo Maresca has even called out Reese James. Dan Waters, big up to you, my man. Thank you so much for the super chat. United set up defensively, hoping to counter. It was always going to be a boring. People overhyped the game, in my opinion. Yeah, look, I didn't think Man United would do that. I thought Man United would come out all guns blazing and press and try and win the ball up front. And we can beat their press and then basically get in behind and score goals. Much like what Newcastle did. I didn't think they were going to be setting up in a defensive manner to basically pick up on our unforced errors. Meta World TV, Miss Surely Maresca has to deliver in big games before you back him like this. How am I back? Why am I backing him? Just because I'm not saying Maresca out, or just because I don't think he made a mistake. I'm sorry. I'm not going to come out and be forced to say he made a mistake. He didn't make a mistake. I agree with you. He does need to deliver in big games. I absolutely agree with you. He has to. But the game against Liverpool is not on him. The game against Man United is not on him. Okay, the one thing we can probably say about the Liverpool game is maybe his subs. He should have made the substitutions a lot earlier. He didn't make subs earlier. That's something we can say. Against Liverpool, Levi Colwill, unfortunately, was getting cooked by Salah. We equalized against Liverpool, and then we fell asleep in the back. I'm sorry, these are not Maresca faults, man. And this isn't like some sort of forcefully backing him. I'm not really seeing anything wrong with him. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. Big up Ibzy, my man. Good to see you. Big up Broski. To answer the video title question, yeah, he shouldn't have started with Gusto and should have brought on Felix and Nkunku after the equalizer. Look, brother, I think what you need to probably ask yourself is, why isn't he bringing in Felix and Nkunku? Ask yourself that. Why isn't he doing that? It's not like he's got a personal vendetta on these players. Why isn't he bringing them on? Did Felix and Nkunku impress you against Newcastle? Do you think these players work hard enough? It's not about just on the ball, Ibzy. It's not just about what they can do on the... And to be honest, I'm sorry to say this, newsflash, Ibzy. Felix on the ball, he's been pathetic, man. I'm not going to get excited about the fact that he can nutmeg a player. I'm not going to get excited that at times he breaks through and he gets into the box, but he can't finish. I'm not going to get excited about these Conference League matches where he's scoring goals. Have a look at Cole Palmer's level. And I know today Cole Palmer wasn't there. Against Newcastle, he was. Have a look at what Cole Palmer does on and off the ball. And have a look at what Felix does. I think the bigger question is, why isn't he isn't bringing up Felix and Nkunku? Why isn't he? He's not confident. The answer is, Ibzy, he's not confident. He's not confident with Felix and Nkunku to be able to deliver his football. And if you are unhappy about that, or anyone is unhappy about that, that means you don't want this manager. You don't want, and that's fine. That's okay. I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm not here to judge anyone. You can want a different manager. No problems. But I think you need to understand that Felix and Nkunku is not as good as what we think they are. Felix hasn't cracked into a team. Felix hasn't made it at Atletico Madrid. Felix hasn't even made it at Portugal. Felix hasn't made it at Barcelona. Felix was incapable of holding down a spot in Chelsea the last time he was there. We were quite okay to let him go. What, are we just going to blame everyone else except Felix? Is that what we're going to do? And Nkunku, similar boat. This guy, every time, besides that Bournemouth game where it was a bit of a low block, right? Nkunku doesn't work hard enough as well. This game, maybe he could have featured. He really could have. He could have come on. And maybe that's a blame that if you're looking for a criticism on Enzo Maresca today, maybe he could have brought on Nkunku. He could have. But Nkunku, every time most of the times he's been coming on, he's been a spectator. Besides that Bournemouth one where he came on right at the end, where Bournemouth was sitting deeper. They've spent all the energy in the first half, and Sancho found a really good pass. Faisal Miz, you're really saying Felix and Nkunku don't have individual quality to change games? No, that's not what I said. Once again, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to sometimes have a... It's very difficult to sometimes have a logical conversation. I never ever said they don't have the individual quality. I'm saying that what are they going to do when they don't have the ball? What are they going to do when they don't have the ball? Look at Pedro Neto. Did you see Pedro Neto in the second half? Sprint all the way back, win the ball, and then drive all the way. Pedro Neto could just chill. He could just chill up front and not worry about the defensive side of the game. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying that some of these players are too lazy. They're spectators. They're spectators in the game. I don't want to keep... You're right. We shouldn't keep players on the pitch who are having stinkers just for the sake of it. Yes, but that shows a bigger problem. The fact that the manager is willing to keep players who are having a stinker as opposed to bring someone from the bench, that says the manager has no trust on the bench players. Football is not just attackers only attack, don't worry about defense. Defenders only defend. No, both ways. Both ways. Attackers need to, without the ball, have to work hard, have to help out midfield, have to help out in defense. Defenders with the ball will have to initiate attacks as well. It's not one or the other, man. RY, thank you so much for the super chat. Miz, we wish we had Chalobah. He's balling out. Yeah. Ibsy, I think we would have had more momentum if we brought on those two with Palmer and Neto. When you're chasing for a result, you have to pile on the pressure, considering how bad you know. See, okay, let's use that theory for a second. All right, we could have all of Palmer, Neto, okay. I think we would have had more momentum if we brought on those two with... okay. So have Palmer and Neto and Felix and Nkunku. Brother, I'm telling you, Man United would have ran all over us. Man United would have ran all over us. It would have taken one mistimed pass for any of these players, and that's it. We're outnumbered. We're outnumbered. If this happened, I'm pretty sure Man United would have won. Ibsy, we had the chance to win. Just to let you know, we did have the chance. Enzo Fernandez had a gilt edge opportunity to win the game. And he didn't need this type of madness. Maresca post-match said, in the final few minutes, we exposed ourselves a bit too much. We exposed ourselves a bit too much. The draw is 100% not good enough. I'm so upset. I'm so angry. But the loss would have killed us. The loss would have killed us. The loss would have killed us. RY, thank you so much for the super chat. Bad Dad and Sporting Director squad building is poor. Big up to my man John, Man United fan. My brother Sancho doesn't have the individual quality to change games, miss. Trust me. I mean, look, I don't know what the case of Sancho is at the moment. Let's see if he even features against Arsenal. But yeah, there is some form of issue there as well. Like Sancho missed out on, before he got ill, he missed out on 2 games for tactical reasons, which tells me the manager is not happy tactically about him. So he needs to lift his game. Do you know what I mean? Right now, there's only one winger that is up to Maresca standards, and that is Pedro Neto. I can accept Felix not starting, but when you're chasing for a result against an awful United team, we could have took the risk. Look, even without the risk, Ipsy, we were in good areas, man. We were in good areas. Cole Palmer was in some really good areas, but for some reason, this game, Cole Palmer, he didn't execute. Malo Gusto was in very, very good areas, didn't execute. Madueke was in very, very good areas, didn't execute. Bringing in Felix or Nkunku, sure, okay, go for it. But he most likely would have opened us up in the back. And I'm not going to take a loss against Man United. I'm not. If we had, the other problem is if we had Virgil van Dijk or Konate, like Virgil van Dijk, Konate type of defenders, then maybe we could have thrown the kitchen sink. The problem is we don't have that. That's the problem. What's Felix going to do, man? Let's be honest. Some stupid flicks and nutmegs out of 10 attempts. Yeah, look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that these guys could have changed the match. The players that were there, the players that were on, there was enough for us to do the damage anyway. But you know, our execution from some of these players have let us go. But yeah, I guess now the thing is, how do we integrate Felix and Nkunku in? That's the question. How do we integrate them in? These guys will need to work hard, man. Like, how do we bring these guys in? Because I don't think this is Maresca fault. This isn't an Enzo Maresca issue at all, by no means. This is an issue of our squad building by our directors. I don't think we've look at all the players that we got in the summer. Enzo Maresca is not even utilizing a single one of them besides Pedro Neto. Besides Pedro Enzo Maresca is not even utilizing a single one of our players that we bought in the summer. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we do down the track. I think that's where our directors, board of directors, sporting directors have got it wrong. Besides Pedro Neto, there's no one else that Enzo Maresca can really rely on. Renato Vega is just not ready yet at the highest level. Keenan Dewsbury Hall is not even in the squad. Mark Gui is not there. Sancho ill. We'll see what happens with Sancho down the track. Tosin is neither here nor there. Who else? Because I'm telling you, if he plays Gusto in the 10 again, the fans will lose their minds. Well, I think the fact that he's hooked him off at halftime, he probably won't have the 10, but it's going to be someone in the 10, brother. That's the tactics. It'll be Enzo Fernandez then in the 10. If you want Cucurella to invert, it'll be Enzo Fernandez in the 10. Someone will be in the 10, brother. Someone will be in the 10. No problems. We get Enzo back. No problems. We get Cucurella back. I got no issues with that. I love Cucurella. We get Cucurella back, but then someone else. It'll be Cucurella and Caicedo in the middle. Lavia dropped as well, and then someone else will be going into the half space. Someone will have to go into the half space, and it'll be Enzo Fernandez. It'll be Enzo Fernandez. And if it's not Enzo is terrible in the 10, yeah, well, Chukwuemeka is not preferred. Chukwuemeka is not preferred. We can put Nkunku. We can put Nkunku there, but Nkunku has to work hard. He has to then drop into the middle when Cucurella goes back to the left back position. Nkunku will have to drop in and help out Caicedo. Nkunku will have to drop out off the ball. Nkunku will have to drop in and help out Caicedo. Palmer is our 10. Why do we need 2 10s? Because you need 5 in attack, brother. You need 5. If Palmer is the 10 and you got the other 3, that's 4 people. Five in attack. I need to get this board out. All right, let's get this board out. Let's get this board out. I think it's just going to make a lot more sense if we get the board out. Sorry. All right. Okay. Let's really play this out. Let's really play this out. I hate that one. Yeah, let's do this one. Okay. Generally 4-2-3-1. Yeah? All right, let's play this out. We want Cucurella to be left back, correct? We want Cucurella to be left back. Yeah? We want Cucurella to be left back. Okay, no problems. And we want Cucurella to invert. You want Cucurella to invert, which that means you're pushing out one of these players, right? You can't have it like this. I'm sorry. You're not going to have this. That's not how Maresca plays. You're not going to have that because Maresca wants 5 up front. He wants 5 up front, right? 5 in attack. That's what Maresca wants. Okay, so let's demonstrate this. So you're going to have... So this is how we were. This is how we were. Okay, this is how we were. You want Cucurella to be left back. Okay, you want Cucurella to be left back and you want Cucurella to invert. You want Cucurella to invert, you're pushing out one of the midfielders to go forward. Okay? So who do you want that midfielder to be? because you want 5 in attack. You're saying, why do we want 2 10s? We want 5 in attack. This is why you have 2 10s. You got 1 on this side, you got 1 on that side. So who do you want? Let's say you put Cole Palmer. And Cole Palmer can be on either side, no problems. All right, let's say you want Cole Palmer. Who you want on that side? Who do you want on that side? I'm sorry. This comment is invalid. He needs to realize our defense is shit to consistently commit 5. You have to commit 5 or we're not going to score. We're not going to have enough numbers. The opposition will outnumber us. The opposition will outnumber us. You want 4. You want 4. You want 4 people to manage potentially 5. You want 4. Where's the numerical advantage? Where's the advantage? If you want this, you're going to have Enzo Fernandez there. Unless you play with Chukwuemeka, who's not even favored. Chukwuemeka is not favored. You're going to have to play Enzo Fernandez. Because you know why? You know why you have to play Enzo Fernandez? Because Kukurea off the ball will come back here. And then you need someone to drop down there. Off the ball. On the ball, this guy goes forward. This guy comes in here. And this is Caicedo. Now you can say, okay, well, I don't want Enzo there. I don't want, why is there a need for another 10? These are dumb questions. These are dumb questions. This is why Reese James has been playing recently. Because we are now playing with Lavia and Caicedo. Lavia and Caicedo, because they don't push forward. They are proper double pivots. This is why there's no need for someone to invert, because these two players are not going anywhere. This is why there's a need for a player to be an 8, 10. This is why Malo Gusto is starting now. This is why Malo Gusto is starting. And Cole Palmer is on the left side. And Gusto is on the right side. Because we're holding the width with our wingers. 5 in attack, 5 in defense. These guys are all shifting. Wesley Fofana here. Colwell, his best spot is in the middle. This is why Reese James is playing here. Now, you can drop Reese James, no problems. But you have to understand what's going on. Because in this formation, Reese James then becomes left back, Colwell tucks in, Wesley Fofana comes in, and then Gusto comes into that right back position. Now, you can talk about Reese James maybe not being a good left-sided defender. Sure. But you have to understand why Gusto is doing that, because none of these midfielders will do that. Now, you're saying, get Caicedo over there. No problems. Okay. Get Gusto to invert. Then what you're saying is, off the ball, get Gusto to come down here and get Caicedo to come back down there. Sure. That is an experiment that can happen, but Caicedo, is he the most comfortable in that 10 spot? Is that the best way to utilize Caicedo? Caicedo's best stats so far is his defensive stats. Malo Gusto, traditionally last season, he was able to pick out crosses from here. Now he can't pick out crosses from here. Malo Gusto, he's actually doing well in terms of positioning himself correctly as per what Maresca wants him to do, but he can't execute. That's his problem. He's incapable of executing. Is surely by doing this, you can see how overcomplicated these tactics are. I'm sorry, this is the modern day football, man. It's not necessary at all. It is necessary. Or else, why'd you sack Poch? Why'd you sack him? Have a look at some of the top managers in world football. You think this is complicated? Tell me which. You want Ancelotti. You want Ancelotti, right? You want Ancelotti, basically. Go out there and do your thing. Enzo should do normal back four and get on with it. No inverting crap. Okay. All right. You want to do normal back four? No problems. Normal back four. Normal back four. Okay. Let's put Reese James there. Normal back four. Normal back four. Okay. 5 in attack and 5 in defense. This is what Enzo Maresca wants. 5 in attack, 5 in defense. So what are you saying? Drop one of Lavia and Caicedo? Have overlapping fullbacks, yeah? You want to have overlapping fullbacks. So you're going to leave Colwell, Lavia, Caicedo to be in that box. You want overlapping fullbacks, yeah? Then what's going to happen? What's going to happen with the wingers? What's going to happen with the wingers? Now you got too many up front. You want Cucurella and Reese James. Okay, you want to say, all right, take your turn. Take turns. When Cucurella stays back, let Reese James go up. When Reese James stays back, let Cucurella go up. Okay, no problems. No problems. But in order for this to happen, is you have to be so concentrated all the time. And Reese James at the moment, he can't do up and down like that. He can't. Reese James cannot be up and down. He'll get injured again. Cucurella's best suit is inverting. Yes, he can overlap. Cucurella has produced some really good crosses from these areas. He has. But his best suit is to invert. He used to invert quite a bit at Brighton as well. This is not how Maresca plays. If you don't want him to do that, you're essentially saying Maresca out. He doesn't do that. Get a manager that does this then. Get Hansi Flick. Get Flick. Flick plays with Alejandro Balda up front. Flick plays with his right-sided player up front. But look how open Barcelona is all the time. Look at Barcelona's first half against Real Madrid. Basketball game. Then only in the second half when Frankie de Jong came in and he started to be in the middle of the two defenders. It's risky type of football, man. Just to let people know. We are fourth, you know. We are fourth. We're not 8th or 9th or 10th. We are fourth. Yeah, Flick plays a 3-1-6. That's right. That's aggressive, man. 4 to protect yourself. Flick's belief is we lose the ball, we're going to win it back immediately up front. If not, chaos, no problems. 1v1 defending. Real Madrid against Barcelona in that first half, Real should have been 3 goals up. Real should have been 3 goals up. Anywho. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. It is getting late for a lot of you guys in UK. 10:57 a.m. for me. Smash up the like button. Watch my match review if you want to watch it. If you haven't caught the match review as yet, catch that. Chelsea FC RK, thank you so much for the super chat. Maresca, real playing style, sideways boring, such a slow builder up that there is no space remaining to create or score. We are fourth because of easy fixtures. Although there's no easy fixture. There's no easy fixture in the Premier League. I'm sorry. There's literally no easy fixture. There's literally no easy fixtures. Nothing is easy. All right, check out my match review here. Come on, man. There you go. You can check out my match review there. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'll pin it as well. Give it a watch if you haven't given it a watch yet. Enzo is from a positional play school of thoughts. We attack with 5 because positional play managers want all 5 attacking lanes occupied versus a back 4, so we can outnumber them. They will use 6 versus a back 5. Exactly. All right, guys. I'll catch you later. Have a good day.